So now what do I do? Well, I guess there's only one thing. There's something I'd like to know. Are you real? Can you feel?
Hi friends, I'm Prairie Vintage. My name's Linda. I'm an energy intuitive reader here on YouTube, and I use spirits and my intuition, the tarot, to communicate energies to you guys, fabulous viewers. If you guys are new to this channel, welcome. I'm so glad you guys are here and that you guys found me. For those of you guys returning, I'm so blessed, so grateful to do your reading again. And you guys are all very safe and welcome in this space with me today. Today's reading, we'll be using these decks right here. And I'll put a link right here to those of you guys interested in the deck reveal for these decks. And you do have an opportunity to charge these cards as I open these cards. And remember, energy is not fixed to time or form. Therefore, you can energetically charge these cards for future readings. We will be looking at the person on your mind and how this person is engaged with you on the surface and their intention behind doing and saying and acting the way that they are. Okay, so it's definitely layered. Now, we won't be going too far into the subconscious, okay, but we will be looking at the driver or the intention that this person most likely is aware of. Okay, so something they're sort of consciously aware of behaving in order to attain maybe some sort of desired outcome in regards to the connection or relationship between you and this person. Okay, so this will be a pick a card reading. We'll pull 3 options together, and remember to use your intuition. And remember, I'm just reflecting, reading back to you a state of consciousness that is already known to you. I'm not predicting anything. Do not base your life decisions on a YouTube reading. Okay, so beautiful angels, I will put timestamps below. It'll take you directly to the section you're interested in, and I will see you guys at the pick-a-pile. All right, let's pull the 3 options together for this pick-a-pile. Spirit, clear and concise message for the 3 options here for the collective tuned into this video in regards to the person on their mind and who this person is, how they're portraying themselves, and what are their true intentions. Can we get 3 options for the card selection for the viewer? Thank you so much, Spirit, and thank you so much to the collective that's tapped into this video. 3 options. Option 1, option 2, and option 3. So, if at any point you guys are called to any one of these 3, please listen to your intuition. It's absolutely fine to click on a pile and not resonate and go elsewhere. Okay, there's 3 options to choose from today. I'm not tapped into every single frequency ever known to man. Okay, so this is going to be 3 very select connections that I'm pulling through here, and you should resonate with the overall energy in that pile. Do not take words literally. Use your intuition over mine. And like I say, do not base worldly decisions based on a tarot reading on YouTube. Okay, so option number 1. We have this card right here. There you are, the front of the line. I'm just kidding. Option number 2. I have these 2. Option number 3. I have this one. Very interesting energy for the 3 picks. Sit with this energy, okay? And if you get stuck, close your eyes, open your eyes, whichever one you're called to. Will most likely have the information or the pile that's resonating for you, okay? Don't force it, and nothing wrong with going into a pile and then going to listen to a different pile if it doesn't resonate, okay? You're not obliged to sit there and force the messages. So I will put timestamps below. Take as long as you need, and I will see you guys at your pick. Hello, gorgeous angel. Pile number 1. You guys pick this card right here. We're going to get into the energy, okay? Just a quick sort of mini disclaimer on this reading. In case you skipped the beginning, we're looking at the person you came here about, how they're portraying themselves, okay, their image, how they're engaged with you, at least from your perspective. And then we're looking at what this person's true intentions are. Now, we're not digging into the subconscious drivers, which obviously is the majority of why people do what they do. Okay, so keep that open mind. This is more looking at this person's conscious intentions, why they're sort of engaged the way they are, or what they're thinking as a result of them engaged in a certain way will get them a certain outcome or will provide them with something. Okay, what is their intention? All right, so it's most likely known to this person, but in order for you to know whether this resonates with you, I did ask spirits to give us some key components regarding how you're seeing this person engaged with you, or at least your takeaway of this person, so that you know that this is your pile. Okay, now specific messages sometimes come through for certain individuals. Don't take those specifics. Okay, I will say if it's select or very specific for certain key individuals, but the overall energy should match that in which the person you came here about. If it's not, then it could be a flipped pile, meaning it is reversed. It is your intention. Okay, if that's the case, your person could be still in another pile. All right, so let's lay out these cards. I do ask you to use your own intuition over mine. Okay, and if it doesn't resonate, go check out another pile. So I ask spirits exactly that. Let's see what has pulled through. So I am getting an energy off this card right away, but let's just put them all out and then I'll channel your message, okay? So we have Venus, Mars with number 30 and 3. So there's some feminine and masculine energy pulling through. We have the frog, take the leap. Frogs are about healing, cleansing, releasing. Okay, and then we have disconnection with 67. So number 13, Scorpio energy. We also have some Taurus, Libra, Aries pulling through. Okay, and then we have the blue temple, number 54, or the number 9. So we have some Virgo and some Cancer energy. We have birth, and this is the sign of Venus and Cancer. So more Venus and more Cancer with the energy I was picking up with the number 9. Number 4, more Aries, more Scorpio energy, birth. And then we have 57 with mythomania, number 3. So we're getting this Venus energy with this number 3. Okay, Taurus, Libra energy, divine feminine energy. It says imagination, conspiracy, trickery, hypocrisy, storyteller, and workaholic. Type 3, the achiever, emotional center between appearance and authenticity under mental tendency stress level with the solar plexus. 57 might be an important number here for you. So you have 67, 57, and 54. Interesting. All right. And then we have ransom, withholding love, approval, or freedom until you give something up. Power imbalance, sacrifice. We were seeing masculine and feminine energy. Okay, which could be talking about two polarities here, the yin, the yang. So we have here sort of a 6 pentacle thing. Okay, a number 187. 187. What's that? Is that cop slang for someone down, man down? Is that 187? I don't know. I might be making it up. We see the heart here with the money sign. So it could be talking about pentacles here, emotions, and then practical matter. Seeing a crown, which is also giving me divine masculine or divine feminine energy. Ransom, withholding love, approval, or freedom until you give something up. Power imbalance and sacrifice. All right. And then we have premonition, intuition, waving a red flag, or nudging you towards alignment, inner knowing before the storm. 73, or the number 10. So I'm getting more Scorpio energy from that, but 10s are completions, ends of cycle, transformations, also Wheel of Fortune and Sun energy. So getting some Leo as well. And more divine masculine energy from the 73. It's a crystal ball here. Okay, and then we have partial. unfairly favoring one side, behaving differently depending on who they're dealing with. 194. Okay, we have a drink here. Maybe someone likes to drink rye. I'm also seeing gin and tonic. All right, and then we have the eagle. Air energy, Gemini, Libra, Aquarius. Okay, eagles represent divinity and vision. I'm seeing the crystal ball, which could indicate vision. There's something in there. I'm not sure what that is. A shadow of something, someone. Okay, eagle. It's giving me the solar plexus energy with that eagle as well. And then we have child wounded. Light attributes awakens compassion and desire to serve other wounded children, opens the learning path of forgiveness. Shadow attributes blames all dysfunctional relationships on childhood wounds, resists moving on through forgiveness. All right. And then we have this oracle card of this child. Looks like she is contemplating something, deep reflection, observation. Okay, so one thing coming through, your person could definitely have wavy curly hair, okay? Or you can take that as a sign here. I'm seeing that very clearly. Okay, doesn't have to be dark, but it could be like medium to dark hair. Take that as confirmation. Now let me channel this energy. I get my wand. All right. Okay, beautiful angel. How you'll know this person. Okay, unless I have it flipped. Okay, which I could be reading it flipped, but I got to assign two different sort of, well, I see one predominant energy here. So you assign it to who this person belongs to or this energy belongs to. I do feel it's your person. Okay, I feel like this person is feeling like they're creating a space between you and this person. Okay, this specifically, I know I joked about it, said there you at the beginning of the lineup, because I do feel like you feel like this person is not prioritizing this connection, or you might feel like you have to compete for this person or that this person is involved. Now, it doesn't have to be a bunch of different people. In this case, I'm not getting it, but they might as well, they might as well be interested in a bunch of other people, because you feel like you have to compete for this person's time and attention and affection. And it's like this person's withholding. I feel there's an imbalance here in this connection, that this person seems like they're not as interested in common ground. Okay, now if this isn't a love relationship, it's just like this person is withholding, and they are withholding here, and I feel it is purposeful. Okay, but it's not purposeful to create any sort of like hurts on you or tension on you. Okay, I feel like their intention is coming through, but let me just channel. I was going to give you some indicators of who this person is, because I don't want you at the wrong pile, but I just got to channel it the way I'm channeling. This person has experienced disappointment, okay, let down. This person has a big old fear of losing control and being blinded by love and making decisions, or being blinded by their heart or their emotions if it's not like a romantic love relationship. And so they really feel like they can sort of get in there and control how much emotions or love or investment that they make with their emotions. And it's like this feeling of I want to be 100% certain before I do anything. And I'm talking about a certainty that never really truly comes then, because we're always sort of a little bit hesitant based on past disappointments, to the point where the closer we get, the more we can feel vulnerable to being let down. And I don't know that this person realizes that the certainty that they're waiting on or for is ever going to be 100%, because we're never 100%. We could be feeling 100% one moment, and then something happened to totally just flip the script on us. And so this sort of way of engagement is a coping mechanism. They wouldn't say it as such, but their intention here is, I want to be 100% certain that the connection and this investment is balanced and equal, and that I stay in control, and that I'm managed here, and that I don't lose my head or my heart or my everything in this investment. And so I must create this space and this sort of distance here. This person also, how you'll know it's this person, they do have a tendency to numb themselves. They could distract themselves with working, drinking, material things in the material world. So it's like a heavy distraction type energy, you know? And I feel like this person feels like, it's like in order for them to attain something, they'd have to give up a big part of themselves. And I don't feel like it's realistic here, because this person's understanding of that part of themselves that must be in, what's that called? Compromise is a little unrealistic, because I do feel like this person is building storms in their mind, like massive storms in their mind about the coulda, woulda, shoulda, what will happen, and the worst case scenario. And that's what they drive by. So I don't know how hurt this person has been, or betrayed, or backstabbed, because like I said, could be a business partner, could be backstabbed by friends, could be just observing other relationship fail, or betrayal in marriage, or failed relationships, many relationships that have failed, or a lot of people have done the same thing. I feel like this person's experience has been, there's been a lot of people that I've observed or that I understand to behave in the same way. Therefore, why would this be any different? Now, I don't think it's a reflection that you've been engaged in that way, you know, like giving this person a reason to suspect you. This has nothing to do with how you are engaged with this person. This person can't see beyond that, in which is their experience of the past. And so their veil that they see the world out there is threatening. And despite how caring, loving, giving, affectionate, invested, interested, shared that you are. And so this is why it doesn't really necessarily matter so much your involvement here to make this person feel safe. This person, most likely with this child wounded, okay, has a lot going on within their subconscious. Like I said, I'm not digging into subconscious, okay, that has been supported by experiences in their life. The older this person is, which I do feel this person is probably over 30, okay, it doesn't have to be, but this is what I'm getting. Okay, someone over 30 here, and the older this person is, okay, I feel like the more set in their way and the more difficult this person is. I do feel like this could even be somebody who is in their 60s, okay? Anywhere from 30 to 60. I know that's a wide range, but that's what I'm feeling here. And I do feel like this person sees themselves as somebody who's well experienced, you know, not necessarily in a relationship at all, okay, but well experienced in observing how people are. And so they run with this experience, and it fears them, because this person has a child wound here and a need to feel safe and secure before they allow themselves to sort of invest here. So why they're engaged the way that they're engaging is because this person is really protective of their security and their safety and giving up control. Now, their intention here is to protect themselves at all costs, but there is a desire here to accomplish some sort of achievement. I think this person has their eye on the prize, okay? The prize meaning whatever it is that you guys have in common interest here. So if it's a business, if it's a relationship, if it's a contractual thing that you're sort of under some understanding about why you guys have a relationship amongst each other, or what this connection, the type of connection that you have, there is a desire to successfully get to that point. Okay, but it's in their eyes of what success means. It's like, I am the only one that can create this success. So it doesn't feel like it's a partnership. Okay, it doesn't, because I do feel like this person has a fear of letting another sort of dictate the outcome of what's going to happen to this person. Okay, and I feel like this person sort of utilizes their leverage. So the more invested you are, maybe the more you like this person, or the more you're fixed on outcome. or success working through something or with this person, the more leverage this person has to sort of pull at you and manipulate situations so that they can, remember, because they have a very focused common goal here. Okay. And their focused common goal could certainly be your goal. It doesn't mean it's not your goal, but their priority goal, the priority is that this goal must be solely up to me and under my control. So if you and I have the same goal, but you're the one with the upper hand or can call the shots here, then I'll be sort of at the mercy of you and this loss, or you can run and do something here that I don't like. Okay, and so this person's great fear is going to certainly unfold in front of them. Spirit is talking, because the more authentic we are and the more we sort of like if our what's it called, our intention is that of a outcome that is beneficial to parties, it's like at some certain point there's going to be a meeting of the minds in some capacity, and the more time we're invested, the more we start to understand we're on common ground, the more this will feel like a loss of control that this person is being faced to deal with here. I feel like this person, Spirit is really showing that there is a journey of sorts that this person has been having to navigate here in this experience with you, this connection, to be reborn here and heal whatever it is that's creating this way of engagement. Because I do feel like this person has one sort of way of seeing relationship, if this is a relationship, or one way of engagement with X, fill in the blank, that results in this type of a interaction. And it doesn't allow this person to grow. It doesn't allow this person to overcome the hurts. It doesn't allow this person to expand and create and grow in a way here that will allow this person to move forward. It's always preparing for storm and anticipating the worst, like I said. And so, yeah, this person, the more it's sort of that they get lost in the experience, the more fear. And so maybe this person could be somebody who then, pulls back, or has been somebody who could pull back, or seem hesitant or very reserved, or like they're withholding something here. This person is learning to balance their masculine, feminine energy, which would mean, what is it that we are trying to control in our world? And where are we able to allow ourselves to let go of control in order for us to feel and allow things to unfold without feeling the anticipation that something might go wrong, or that we'd have to be in a certain way. Okay, I think this person's anxiety acts up, and it's sort of like a reflex mechanism. So I don't think it's like consciously I'm doing it so much that I'm, it's like I can't help myself but do this. It's like that's how this person sees it. Although they know that they're doing this, it's not like they don't know that they're blocked in some way here, but they feel like it's a need for that control, and they don't see it as a block so much as they see it as a power. It's like, I'm in power to do this. And as long as I'm able to do it this way, then I'm in control and I have the power. And that's a good thing as far as they're concerned, it's a good thing. Even though it might be not allowing them to land whatever they want here, because this sort of a play could make one feel like this person is going to betray or going to pull the rug at the last minute, or do something that's self-serving. So who would trust someone who's in it for themselves? And so I could see why you're at this reading, because it does seem like they're in it for themselves. But I think that's far from the truth. I do feel like this person, like their end sort of goal, I think is mutual, and it is a good intention, although they are in it for themselves to get there, because they feel like they have to do it themselves, that someone else would disappoint, or that if it's left up to someone else, it won't result in the same thing. So I think this really matters to this person. So if this is a relationship, it's a relationship that really matters. And this person's like, I don't want it to fail and then feel like I let it fail, or I didn't do everything I could. And so this person really feels like they're the reason that they could have success. They're also the reason why things could fail. So they might have taken a lot of responsibility or accountability about failures in the past, but even then, it's like a mixed sort of feeling, because it's like if they held the responsibility and the accountability of like what's happened in the past was as a result of me maybe losing control or being too invested, or watching others sort of do this thing. But then at the same time, there's like feeling like, okay, I'm going to just put myself more in control, and I could fight this thing because I can overcome this thing, being more precise or concise or protective of myself in some way if I'm more aware, and so it's very deliberate sort of action here. And I feel like if you know this person and you resonate, or if you resonate with this person, it'd be somebody here who does analyze their engagement, so it might even feel like it doesn't flow. It might feel like it's not necessarily authentic. It might feel, again, like very one-sided, or like it's self-serving, or like something like this. Or we could even feel like, what is this person not telling me? Are they trying to trick me? Are they trying to lead me down a garden path? Are they trying to do something here? And it feels very confusing. You might even feel a little intoxicated with this person, because I could see how this could be sort of a mixed message, because the aim and the desire for achieving outcome is great and intense and strong and clear. And it's mixed with this other energy of, but don't, don't get involved in this thing, because if you do, it's like you could, seriously impact how this outcome goes for me. And so it's like a come, but don't come, or like don't come, but let's get there. Let's get there. Let's just appear there, wherever there is the outcome, the goal, the magic end of the rainbow. Let's just appear here, but don't impact any way of getting there with me. Like, it's confusing, of course. And this could be, like I said, it could be quite disorientating here, I feel like this person doesn't know what to do with deep emotions. They feel very out of their element. And so this person doesn't like to put themselves in situations that are overly emotional. So they might be somebody who avoids deep conversations, who doesn't like to face certain things, who feels disorientated when it comes to how they feel. And they might have a lot of, I don't know. They might not say, I don't know, but you might be left with a bunch of questions, because I feel this person doesn't know themselves when it comes to these emotions, because they avoid looking at the emotions objectively, or just allowing the emotions to be and accept them to feel. It's like, if I do this, then that's a loss of control, because emotions aren't something I could clearly define and clearly sort of control. So why would I give my power to that? It doesn't make a lot of sense to this person. And so they're really driven here by their ability to, their action. It's really around the action, what I have power over and control over. Now, I don't feel like this person wants to overpower you so much, okay? It might even feel this way. Now, don't take what I'm saying here. If this person feels like they're suppressing you or oppressing you in any sort of way, then this might not be your reading, unless you're just a little bit disconnected from energy, because there's a subtle difference here where I think you would intuitively know that there's some desire here of a commonality, that I do feel like this person is emotionally invested. And I do feel like this person has what it is that maybe it is that you're wanting this person to acknowledge or feel through, which is like their truest emotion, their desire. Where do they sit? Where do they stand emotionally? What they're feeling. But they can sort of keep that in a separate bucket in some way, because it will contaminate their action. And the most important thing here is the action. Okay, the action. Because I feel this person wants to have success and wants to do it in a certain way with little to minimal risk of getting hurt or repeating past things and losing control. And so I feel like, again, like you feel like you are like just having to compete for this person in some way, like they're nonchalant, or like they don't care as deeply or as invested. This person could have a sibling. Okay, this is coming through. They might be they might have a single parent, okay, or had a period of time where they were living with their single parent, most likely their mother, okay, but it doesn't have to be, but I am getting that. Okay, not for all of you guys. It could be that they just have one sibling. For some of you guys, this person could be have a twin, okay, or they could have an opposite, like it's a boy girl, okay, like boy girl, masculine, feminine, and that's it. Like for their siblings, okay. Yeah, this person. Yeah, there's lots coming here with the masculine feminine because I do feel like there's something grander happening here with this person having to heal something. This person also feels like what you sense from this person. I feel like this person feels awkward about it. I don't know if I know how to word this. It almost feels to me like it's like a frozen energy here of I don't know what to do about that, you know? Because it's too awkward for me to reveal or explore that I sort of don't know what to say. I feel like this person might at times of importance, meaning when it's time for them to express or connect or emotionally divulge or whatever, like how they're feeling or something like this, I feel like this person is sort of silent. I feel like this person has a hard time contributing and they feel awkward about this, you know, because maybe it's like, especially if you've known this person and it's like you might share something very deep with this person or an experience here. And it's like this person feels like they have this awkwardness where it's like, I don't know how to engage with that or support that or like validate that or engage with it. And so there's this like falling back on what it is that I do know, but then it's like, well, where was this person then to support me or to understand me or to like really like emotionally make me feel safe or secure in some way, you know, because it could feel again like this person's disconnected from this connection, from your common goal. But it's really because they're disconnected from how they could reach those depths of themselves. And that is purposeful in a way. I mean, obviously, if they tried, they'd have to face something they're not prepared or they don't feel prepared for that I think they're being faced with. And this person is being asked to sort of trust in the feminine energy. Okay, so this person could very much be more mind over heart in their masculine energy, be like somebody who's confident in their ability, like I said, to do and control and you know, that sort of thing, and talk about things that they're confident about. But when it comes to feelings, emotions, being receptive and allowing themselves to sort of feel and heal and that sort of thing, this person is sort of not interested in that. This person distracts, avoids, and does all sorts of things so they don't have to do the awkwardness here. But I feel this person has their eye on you. They're very invested here with where this goes. They're really, really invested here. And I do feel like they want the best possible, happiest, successful thing with you in mind. I don't feel they're like, I want the best thing for me. You know, it's like, I want the best, happy, successful thing because I keep getting very strongly. There's a common thing that they agree with you on, and whatever this is, the project, the relationship, or the whatever. I think this person's on the exact same page as you. There's no doubt in my mind about it. But it's the journey of there, and it's also how it gets there that is very concerning to this person. And so to get there, if I must do these other things, then I get very squeamish. Then I resist. Then I fight. Then I get disconnected, and then I create silence, and then I create gaps, and then I do this imbalanced thing, and I try to gain control, and there's this power imbalance, and then I feel like I have to give something up of myself, and then I get defensive because it's like I don't want to trade my safety for this thing. I don't want to give. And it's not that they don't want to so much as it feels like they're dying. If I got to give my safety, my security, it's like, whoa, it's like a death, you know? So it's like, of course I want to be safe and secure above all and feel like safe, secure, you know? And if I can't feel safe, secure, then it's like, whoa, then I really hesitate on the decisions that I'm being asked to make here. So we're going to read the tarot. I'm going to get the tarot ready here for you guys. Okay. So we could just dive into this a little bit more and see what pulls through. Just give me a second. All right. So we have your tarot here, and we're going to see what we need to see in regards to this person and their intention towards you and your connection, or what you guys are mutually invested in. Okay, what is pile one's person's intentions, specifically when it comes to pile one? What do they want, or what are their intentions? Can we dive in a little deeper to the dynamic here for pile one and the person they came here about? Spirit, clear and concise message for the greatest and highest good. Thank you so much for this message, and thank you so much, pile one, for allowing me to tap into your energy, the energy around you at this time. King of Pentacles in reverse. So like I said, this person seems like somebody here who isn't providing you with the security that you might need, okay, in a way here that's like all sold. It's like you have to, I don't know, like feel like this person isn't sort of being solidly reliable. It's like I have to prove myself, or they're not prioritizing me. But I also feel like this person might feel very not grounded in their own ability to feel secure. And so therefore, it's like, I don't want to give away any of my ability here to do anything that would contribute to this. Like, this person feels like the way that they see themselves as somebody here who can't maybe be all in for the long haul for other, because if they are, it's like under the control of it being taken away or lost. So I might as well not do that, you know. But there is a goal here of, I do feel it's like securing something that feels very King of Pentacles-ish. But let's keep going. I want to see what this is all about, because I do feel like this person would be an uncommittal, unreliable type energy. So you feel, but underneath it, I do feel this person is a King of Pentacles. I'm feeling a heavy earth energy, Virgo, Taurus, Capricorn. Okay, but they're in their mind a lot here with this eagle air energy. So let's see, Spirit, what are we missing here about pile number one? We have the Nine of Swords and the Ace of Wands. So there's so much anxiety about just, you know, following the passion, being spontaneous, taking action in some way that would result in them losing control. Okay, but there is this desire here. Ace of Wands can talk about desire, you know, an interest here in moving forward. But it's trumped here by this Nine Swords, which is anxiety. The Hermit in reverse, Virgo energy coming through strong. So let's see, why is this King of Pentacles here? Sorry guys, just 1 second, my phone went off here. I have my ringer on low. All right, sorry about that. So let's see. Why is this King of Pentacles in reverse here, Spirit? Why is this King of Pentacles in reverse here? And the Eight of Swords. So look at that. In the mind, like I said, it's driving the action. The Lovers, there's a choice here. A choice here to be made to follow a path, but there's a lot of fear in this. There's a need for control, and then we're seeing all the things that might be bad, you know, that is holding us back, that aren't necessarily real. Again, like the storm that they're seeing, worst case scenarios. Let's see, why is the Hermit here in reverse? So we have Gemini energy. And the Three of Cups in reverse. I did mention this person likes to distract themselves. Okay, but I'm getting something very removed here with the Hermit in reverse and the Three Cups. It's like isolated in some way. This person doesn't let a whole lot of people in, period, at all. At all here. I feel there's a removal of energy. And I feel like there's an experience here for this person to heal this and to overcome this, a purpose, a guided purpose for this, for them to understand themselves and heal this thing. Okay, but they'd have to overcome this thing and sort of be guided towards, and look, this is really feeling like this Ace of Wands here. Okay, it's like they'd have to go through the experience, like feel the fear and do it anyway, and go through this healing process that they're destined to sort of do. I don't think this person's there yet. I feel like this person is just fears letting others in. So it's like I can only sort of rely on self. And so when the going gets tough, I get going type energy here. And I seem like I'm flaky here. I think they are projecting that they are not in a position to be someone to be relied upon. And it's driving a lot of this, but I don't necessarily see, if I got to be honest, yes, strength held back here, 8 of Wands in reverse. It's like this person is really cautious about what they say, how it moves, where it goes, being spontaneous. It's like, I have so much anxiety about losing control, and it's just being spontaneous, and then a bunch of things up in the air that I can't control. This person really, really, really wants control of how things go. And it's the 8 of Wands is like when we throw many sort of many arrows at the target, like something's going to land in some way, right? So, but this is like, I don't want a whole bunch of things that I can't sort of control. And I don't feel this person wants to control you so much as it is situations that I believe I won't be able to have success in, build upon, be relied upon. It might elude me in some way, and I might find failure here. And so I must control how it goes and the perception of me getting there. And it's like knowing this experience with you is being displayed here by this Lover's card, because I feel like this opportunity is for them to work through this. Now, I can't help but see the sun and the moon here. We saw the masculine and the feminine, the sun and the moon here, and I saw the sun and the moon over here. And so this is about the masculine and the feminine coming into balance, okay, within self. But also I feel like this could definitely represent if you are spiritually feeling like you're on a journey here with this person to come to this lover's union of sorts, where the masculine and the feminine come together through process of healing, whatever it is that they're needing to heal in order for there to be balance and union. This person's lesson here would be to deal with this big thing, because I feel like this person is letting their own ego, their own need for control, the solar plexus energy here, which is really pulled through by the strength card, okay, drive them, okay, which is a strong masculine type energy. And they're being guided here, I feel, with this maiden energy to work through this uncomfortable energy so that they can allow things to flow and be more aligned with authenticity. Because I feel like this person, like I said, could be very challenged when it comes to communicating, expressing, and all sorts of things, like just be silence and awkward in some way. I feel like this person has a lot of passion that they're holding back from just taking action on, okay? Is the strength card, this Ace of Wands. There's a lot of passion, desire. And now we're stuck with this sort of mental prison of, I don't know, because if I give into this passion, and then I'm like facing my worst fear. So I don't know, you know? So I sit here until I just can't know more. And I feel like there's I can't know more sort of energy coming, because there's an urgency that's brewing. And the more this sort of brews, the more the anxiety and anticipation, because this person is projecting a version of themselves as this reverse King of Pentacles. Okay, so I feel like the way this person handles conflict, or the way that they engage in society, or like with relationship or connection, it's like, I'll just disconnect, you know, there's a huge disconnection here. And we were getting that with this one as well. Disconnection. That's what this is. And so I think that's this person's coping mechanism and numbing out, because I do feel like there's either, yeah, like I said, just distracting, numbing oneself, not looking at the pain, and just like, let me just not do this thing. So let's see, What do we want to do? Let's take a look at this King of Pentacles. Okay, why is this King of Pentacles in reverse? Why is this King of Pentacles in reverse? The Empress in reverse. Remember I said something about the masculine and the feminine, and that they're needing to work through the feminine energy, being receptive, not needing the control, allowing themselves to feel and be okay and comfortable in feminine energy. I feel this person is blocked. It's like the more masculine energy, the more control I have in the material world, the more I feel like I'm doing it right, or the more I can protect myself, or the more success I have. And that obviously is not necessarily what being balanced is about, because we need to be able to work with others and know when we have to be an Empress and know when we have to be in masculine energy. It's a balance and a dance. And I feel this person has way heavy anxiety about this sort of energy overtaking them, because this feels awkward, uncomfortable, and I don't know what to do with it. And it makes me most likely feel weak. Okay, weak. And so this person could have been told, like, feminine energy is weakness, or your emotions just don't do anything here. And the stronger you can sort of maintain your control, the more success you'll have. So I do feel like this person is definitely someone who hasn't committed here, and is very stuck when it comes to their feminine energy due to beliefs that are holding them back, despite the intensity and their passion towards having some form of outcome here that they desire. And so they retreat. So let's take a look at this Hermit and this Three of Cups energy. Spirit, what is this Hermit and Three of Cups energy that we need to know about the Magician in reverse? So this person feels like, if I can't do it, if I don't have the control, if I'm not able to, again, like, control the situation, manipulate energy in a way that I could force an outcome that I want, or that I see as secure, safe for me, then I feel I cannot. And then I retreat. Okay, and so this might seem like a manipulative tactic for you. It's like, oh, this person is trying to gain some sort of emotion off of me, or pull away when they sense something. It's like this person seems like they'd be controlling situation, because they're capable of pulling away. They're capable of maintaining their emotions, according to you. They have the ability or the strength or self-reservation here to make decisions that seem like it's very concise, like, I'll just pull away, I'll just go no contact, or I'll just remove myself. And it seems almost like, well, then this person either doesn't care, or I'm not prioritized, or this isn't as important to them, or they're dealing with other people. Whatever your mind chatter goes, okay, is actually inaccurate according to this reading, if you resonate, because it's not about these things. It's that this person, all of a sudden, when they feel like it's a possibility that the emotions creep in, and now I have lost control, I'm now going to do the reflex mechanism, which is distract, pull away, isolate, go ghost, not show up, and do the thing that I've always done here, because the belief is so strong that I cannot, the anxiety is so strong that I cannot, and when the going gets tough, I get going, because I cannot. And that's my understanding of self, because this feeling fears the shit out of me, Empress energy. And so maybe the more your Empress energy comes out, okay, the more this person is sort of reflected with this type of an energy that they're suppressing or repressing. That's like, I don't have that. That's not within me. It's like, no, we all have masculine, feminine energy. There must be a recognition of this. Okay, we all have emotions. We can't say we're emotionless beings. Some of us show it more than others, but there's a repression here that's happening to the point where it's being healed and being looked at. This person is having to deal with this thing. And this is the process that's happening over time in this experience with this person. Okay, it's cultivating this birth of this person who's becoming more balanced when it comes to their masculine and their feminine energy, so they could release what doesn't work. And they're being asked to trust themselves here with this take the leap. It's like, take the leap, like the anxiety that you fear or feel is like greater than that in which you will most likely experience, but it's restricting you, it's holding you back, it's not allowing you to enjoy. And so the time spent here in this mind story is actually greater and bigger than if this person would have just experienced a thing and experience a loss. It's preventative measures, so I don't experience a loss, but I'm sitting there like this. And this doesn't feel good at all. Like almost a 10 of Swords feels better because it's like over and done with. You know, the hurt is over and done with. Now I can move on. This is like perpetual or purgatory, you know? I'm sitting here and I can't escape this. This feels hellish. This is more hellish than a 10 of Swords. And so this person is here navigating this, confronted with a choice and a decision. And this is a divine decision with the Lovers. It's a dharmic decision where it's this person can either choose the path that is aligned with love and abundance and risk, according to them, and know that there's nothing to fear and overcome this and heal this and work through this, or they could continuously upkeep this belief and it hold them back in their world and they don't spiritually grow from this thing. This is all about knowing thyself, healing thyself, working through, understanding that there's greater power here in combining the masculine and the feminine as a whole, rather than choosing one sort of side and running with it. Like if I choose my masculine, I'm more in control. It's like, no, actually, you're not. You actually aren't, because there's great strength in understanding one's emotions, being emotionally regulated, being able to understand the emotions, being able to speak our truth and still stand in authenticity and stand for what matters, rather than be all bunged up here in our mind, being held back from moving towards what we're being called towards because we're too fearful, you know, and then it just triggers this fight or flight sort of response that I'm feeling right here because I can't and I won't. So let's just give you a final message here before I go off. And I just went off. Let's see what Spirit wants you to know that I might have missed. And we'll close out this reading. Thank you so much, Spirit, for this reading. I'm so blessed to be here. Thank you so much, Pile 1, for joining me for this reading. What is it that Spirit wants you to know about this reading? Or about this person, this connection, the situation that might have been missed? Any questions you might have? 6 Swords. So who's in the 6 Swords? This is moving away from sabotage, moving away from challenging situations where it's win-lose, one or the other. Okay, it's like someone must lose or something must be given in order for something to be gained. That's this. What is this? This is withholding love, approval or freedom until you give something up. Power, imbalance, and sacrifice. It's like that sort of a mindset. I must lose in order to have something is like very fearful based, you know? So there's some movement out of this sort of an experience in towards, again, the sunlight. And I was really seeing when I was channeling earlier for you guys, this, like I said, this person has a vision or a goal. It's like they want success. They want happiness. I feel like there's a common clarity that both you guys have. Okay, they're staring at the sun. And I feel like this is where they're rowing towards having success with you, whatever the success looks like, as they learn and work through this thing. Now, I don't know how long they're taking or how long you're willing to work with this person, but I do see that there's slow progress towards this. Okay, although there is a lot of fear that they're working through. And I feel like, again, look at the 6 of Swords traditionally as 2 people in the boat. This is alone. It's like, I got to get there alone. So this person's not going to let anyone in to help them row there. And it doesn't matter how loving and supportive and welcoming, because remember, this person wants to feel secure and safe and like all this stuff that they're doing everything they can to feel this way, but it's like pushing that very thing, feeling alone, because they're rowing alone. Like no one is in it but me to get there, you know? The 4 of Wands in reverse. Like I was telling you guys about the masculine and the feminine, because this is the card of union, balance, commitment, coming together. It's the card of marriage. Okay. And I feel like this person has been sabotaging a form of future build or commitment of coming together because of a fear of commitment, of it failing or not working. And it's like, I got to get through there. I got to get to the other side. I got to deal with this thing at my own pace, on my own. And I got to move out of any 5 sword energy that's been creating this challenge. So for pile number 1, what is pile 1 needing to know about this person and this connection? Ace of Cups in reverse. Yeah, it's all about self-love, having a new beginning, and trusting ourselves to be available emotionally. This person's shut down emotionally. 9 of Cups in reverse, not getting what they want here emotionally. it's not emotionally deep and fulfilling because we can't connect to our emotions. And so we might become very familiar with what our 9 cups looks like in our life, to the point where we convince ourselves and blind ourselves that my 9 cups looks like this, whatever the this is. 3 cups, numbing myself, superficial relationships, avoidance, being in charge, being in control. That's my 9 cups. And then we experience a 9 cup situation, and we see the reality, and it's like fearful, because it's like, wow, I actually wasn't emotionally fulfilled. I'm actually blocked here. I'm not getting what I want. And I have to do something about this. The only way for me to be emotionally completely fulfilled is for me to get grounded, to come together, to have balance, to commit to something here. Otherwise, all I'm doing is just sticking in the fear. And so I got to deal with this self-love and this opportunity. Okay, this is also my 1111, which could signify twin flames if you are on that journey. Definitely could be something that is pulling through here. There's the Emperor, divine masculine energy, like I said. So the masculine feminine must come into balance. And I feel like this person has an understanding of what it means to be in control and in charge, and the masculine, and that he's going to come with no emotions. And it's like sabotaging the build. If we have one sort of predominant energy that doesn't allow there to be a balance and a coming together, we're sort of dominating here, and we're ruling with like an iron fist type mentality, but it falls apart. It's like at the expense of the emotions, at the expense of me having deep fulfillment. That's not going to work here. Okay, I feel this person is finally sort of working through this, moving out of this sort of sabotage energy. And they have to be the ones to do this, because this is something that's running within them. And they have to be empowered to overcome this, their fear. Okay. And then temperance. Yeah, to heal this thing. And they're being guided. So this is a guided experience. Like I was really feeling from this angel as well. Like I was telling you guys, to be reborn, to heal this thing they got to release and overcome through this divine experience that allows them to have the masculine and feminine come into balance, which will allow them to have a new beginning and explore their emotions in a different way, to say, hey, I could be vulnerable, or I know what I feel, or like express themselves, or like even just show up with a cup here. This person has been blocked for a long time, which is creating a stop. And so this could be somebody who's like, I'll never get married again, or could never commit to someone, or just felt like they're on their own. My power comes from me just being the ruler here, And it's like, no, there's great power in harmonizing energy in a way that's actually healing. Okay, High Priestess, yeah, guided, heavily guided. Okay, and so this person, I feel this person, it feels like, imagine being under one energy and feeling like we're successfully doing it, being in control, masculine energy, avoiding our feelings, and having that under control for a long time. Okay, solar plexus energy, in control. And now all of a sudden comes this High Priestess type energy, intuition, watery, emotions. We have no control over this. It makes us feel not good, because it's like, it's like makes me feel either weak, or like I'm going to just feel upside down, like things I don't want to accept. I don't know where it's going. I feel like a whole bunch of anxiety. I feel like I'm losing my power. I might lose my sense of self. I might lose all the things that I thought were important or mattered or made me who I was. The power that I housed, and the power within me, and all of this stuff that was imaginary anyway, because I gave it too much power and credence, thinking that that was why I was successful, or that was what was keeping me protected. Meanwhile, no. And so this very guided experience is so this person can wake up to the truth that we're both masculine and feminine, that there's things here that definitely need to be released and healed, that emotions are in everyone's experience to engage. Otherwise, they live their whole life not knowing what deep emotional fulfillment looks like, feels like, and truly be able to commit to something greater. Now, this doesn't have to be a formal legal marriage so much as it is the truth. The truth is that when there's authenticity with working with other people energy, we can't sabotage it out of past traumas and past pains and past stories and 8 swords and 9 swords, and keep ourselves sort of stuck, you know? That's not the truth. The truth is that this person is both masculine and feminine. The truth is that this person is called to heal something. The truth is that their intuition's been calling them to heal this thing once and for all. And I feel it's this experience. And so I do feel for a lot of you guys, this person hasn't yet committed, or has probably ran, or has probably dropped the ball, or is probably just, like I said, seeming as though they're on a different page altogether. But it is far from the truth. And this whole thing is really guided for this person to show up and to make something of this thing, you know, so they could wake up to their true nature and overcome this wound and overcome this fear. All right. So I hope this helped you guys. I love you guys very much, and I'll see you at the next one. Bye-bye. Pile number 2. You guys pick this card right here. So I ask Spirit for pile number 2, the person on your mind, if we can have an indication of who this person is portraying themselves to be in your eyes, so that you know who this is. And how does that come into play in regards to what their true intention is? Okay, so I did say we're not looking at the subconscious, meaning obviously our subconscious drivers drive 97% of what we do and say that we're not even aware of. Okay, I'm not digging in subconscious. What I'm looking at here specifically is this person is aware of or conscious of what they're doing. Okay, most of what they're doing, the part that they are aware of, and why they're doing that. What is their intention with you? What do they want exactly? What is their desired outcome in being this way? Okay, so we'll see what we see here. But again, like, do not take words literally. If this isn't your pile, go check out something else. If the pile is reversed, this will come through as your own intention. Okay, and I'm reading it flip, so you could assign whose energy this belongs to. Okay, and the best way to tap into this pile to see if it's your pile is to tune into this card layout and tap your intuition into mine and come up with what you'll see, feel, or hear to determine whether this is indeed your pile. Do not force it to fit. Okay, so we have this card right here. And let's just put all the cards before I start to channel. Okay, so we have the 12, card number 12 with Moon and Venus. Interesting, very watery type energy I'm feeling here, divine feminine energy. Okay, so Moon is Cancer, and then Venus is the sign of Taurus Libra, or the ruling planet for Taurus Libra, which is divine feminine. Okay, and then we have Rhinoceros, get out of your own way. Interesting. And then we have Expectations 44. So 44 could be an age. 44 is a master number. Integrity is a foundation. Treating the earth as home and a temple. Manifestation and leadership. 12 and 3. 3 is about growth, relationships, initial success. It's also the Empress energy in the tarot. Okay, so more divine feminine with the number 3. It's also Hangman, which is a change of perspective, becoming enlightened, a period of pause or limbo, and need to gain better perspective. Okay, it's also the World, which is closing out a cycle, successfully closing something out or closure on something. I feel like I want to shuffle these around some. Okay, we have more Venus energy. So Venus, the planet of love and beauty and luxury. Okay, I always get to the physical appearance as well. And for me, when I read Venus, I get first house. And I know Venus is not ruler of the first house, but for me, it always gives me first house type energy because it's our self, our appearance. It's our first impression. It's the way we sort of want to look on the outside. Okay, like to people. It's like our image in some way here. This is what I'm feeling. So a lot of feminine energy. Okay, and then we have optimism, Moon in Sagittarius with the number 9. So 9's about fruition, completion, fulfillment. Okay, Moon is Cancer energy. And 9 is also Hermit, which is Virgo energy. Cancer, Sagittarius, okay. Let me cover this. What do I use? So I'm getting Chariot as well. We're seeing 2 horses here. Chariot is Cancer energy. I'm also feeling 3 cups from these 3 people. So 3 cups could be our social network, how people sort of see us. All right. And then we have this oracle card right here from the Personita deck. Okay. I'm going to be reading it intuitively. All right, red's really standing out here, and the red to me could be talking about the root chakra. Okay, and then we have self-forgetfulness with 45. Interesting, 44, 45. So we have succession here. It says, and number 3 and number 4, so more succession. It says self-forgetfulness, self-cancellation, compromise, adaptation, concession, self-neglect, forget your needs. Type 9, the peacemaker instinctive center between forgetting and asserting oneself. Fixation, ego level. So number 9 again. 99 is a master number, being the change you wish to see and helping humanity to release what no longer serves. We have the solar plexus energy here, more Virgo Cancer energy. And we have undercover boss, 183, hidden truths, perspectives or roles, seeing things from a different angle. We were getting that with the hangman energy I was picking up. And then it says empathetic, which is this divine feminine energy with this empathetic. Okay, not that masculines can't be empathetic, but it's more known as that feminine energy to empathize. Undercover boss, and look, he's wearing a red hat. And so the root chakra is coming through again. A hat for me could talk about, well, it's highlighting the crown chakra, but it could be that this person likes to wear headpieces. Okay, that sometimes pulls through my reading, like a scarf, or likes to wear hats, specifically maybe even a red hat, like a sports team ball cap or something like this. Let's keep going. Yeah, even the red apron here. There's something about protecting oneself. And then we have the goat, which is giving me Capricorn vibes. It says progress, not perfection. Moving along slowly but surely. Making mistakes is okay. Don't compare yourself. Personal journey. And we see the compass here. Okay, so Capricorn with all this red as well. I'm feeling root chakra, which gives me devil, which gives me Capricorn. So we're getting some Saturn energy as well as Venus. And we have the dragonfly. So this is Gemini, Libra, Aquarius, air energy, but dragonfly can talk about seeing through illusions. Okay, and then we have the monk nun, light attributes. It says selfless devotion and single-minded dedication to spirit. Shadow attributes, negative judgment of the physical world and excess piety. So let me tap into this, energy and channel what comes through here, okay? This might take a little bit. You can skip ahead. Okay, beautiful angel. I do feel like this could be your energy, and it could be a flip pile. It doesn't have to be, okay? Apply it to who you see fit. I'm going to channel it most likely like this person. But if it flips at any point, I'm not doing it intentionally to confuse you. So I might start calling it you. If that's how it channels, that's how it channels. Don't make it about you. If it's not you, it's your person. Okay, I did ask also for us to get a feel of who this person could be. Okay, so it could come through as like the way that they are behaving, so that you know that it's them and what it means. Okay, but there are some physical sort of things. I am getting a headpiece that comes through. So I don't know, it could be like a cultural headpiece that they wear. Okay, but it could be a scarf or like a hat or like a bandana or like an athletic sort of thing around their head. I don't know, some headpiece that they wear. Okay, but I also feel like this is highlighting this person is connected to the divine through, well, we're all connected to the divine, but there's this understanding this person has of their relationship to the divine or through the divine. Okay, that might be a higher calling for this person that this person is working through. This person, I'll get into that whole piece, but this person might wear glasses. Okay, they could wear glasses either to read or to drive or just like commonly wear glasses. Okay, I did talk about some of the signs here, which I won't go into, like the zodiac signs, which could resonate as this person's thing. Okay, this person's biggest challenge, I feel, this person's favorite color could be red, by the way. And this person could be very open-minded. Okay, so they might be for humanity or human rights or be a part of the LGBTQ community, or not necessarily, because it could just mean that this person is one to want everyone to sort of have a voice, or something about justice and fairness also pulling through. But this person is their worst enemy here, okay? I feel like this person's battle is actually within themselves. I mean, most of us are battling within ourselves, but I feel like it's relevant to you. Okay. Like I said, it could be a flip pile, but relevant to you, because how this person's engaged with you is going to be as a reflection of what they're battling within themselves. I feel like this person is comparing themselves. There's a comparison here. And I don't know who or what the bar is. It's an unrealistic bar, of course, when we compare ourselves to anyone or anything, because we're our own individual person. So it could be a parental figure said, you must be this in order to be successful, or society says you should do that in order to be successful, or this is what success looks like, or this is what is set up for you to be in order for it to be, I don't know, legit, or for something to happen here. And so I feel like this person was, or is, or could still be, or is overcoming, okay, overcoming this sort of a concept of who they were looking to be like, or proving to be like to themselves as a result of what was put upon this person. And I feel like this has created a lot of turmoil within this person, because I do feel like it's a battle here. And it's a battle of like, what's my greatest purpose self, and what is not me, and what is truly going to support me and my authenticity, and what is going to put me at risk or impede my safety, and what is it that I truly need from other that I cannot generate from myself. Because I do feel like this person might have a belief that other or something outside of themselves is going to give them some form of security, safety, or appreciation, or value, or make them appear in a certain way, or feel a certain way, or secure them in a certain way. And as we know, when we start to peg ourselves to an external thing, person, place, or whatever, to give us this validation, we fall flat because it's so turbulent out there. And so I feel like this person is seeing through the illusion of their beliefs. Okay. Now, what is this person's intention? I feel like this person's intention is to battle some sort of thing within them. Okay. Regardless of who you are to this person, I feel like it's not personal so much as it is a situation in which you might be engaged with this person to help this person, or to reflect to this person, or to engage with this person in a way that they could see themselves from a different lens, one in which they're challenging their old beliefs, their old paradigm. I feel like this person might be somebody who is or has been maybe materially focused, or again, outsourcing their happiness or their security to an outside venue, person, place, or thing. And this has created a feeling of insecurity, and it doesn't mean that this person is so insecure that they're like shy, or like, not talking, or like under like their blankets or something like this. Okay. This just means like this person's insecurity about like what's going to make them stable, what's going to make them happy. Can they make themselves happy? Are they as successful, or could be successful, leaning into their authenticity, or doing something differently that might be different than what they're used to. I feel this person might have a lot of root chakra blocks, which is they want to feel safe and secure, and they might have a lot of abandonment issues. They might get very attached to like outcome, like controlling things to go in a certain way. And it's like creating a belief story that might not necessarily be based in truth, because there might be different sort of ways of perceiving what is happening out in the world without attaching to any sort of story, and then seeing through it. So this person might have certain fantasies they've had to work through, or beliefs that they've had to sort of see the truth about themselves and about the universe and about relationship, especially if this is a reading about a relationship here. Okay, I feel like this person is very, 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 very dedicated, committed, tough, strong. You might know that this person has gone through a battle here and hasn't given up, or has gone through a difficult situation. or situations. Okay, like it's someone who seems very persistent. It could be somebody who's very successful. So maybe someone who's climbed the corporate ladder, might be an executive type person, regardless of gender here. Okay, I feel like this person has a tough exterior. I also feel like this person could be somebody who is easy to sort of defend themselves. Okay, because they could be very reactionary or very hurtful when they feel threatened. And so this could come in a way of words or action or just like pushing people sort of in a way here to protect themselves, because I feel like this person has a reflex mechanism that I'm seeing here as a way of feeling safe. And so if you don't make this person feel safe or secured in a way, of course, we all want to feel safe and secure, but in a way that's specific to this person's wound or this person's thing, this person internalizes and comes up with an understanding consciously in their mind of what that means, and they react. So this person's biggest challenge is they have an understanding, they think, of what right and wrong is, what this should look like and shouldn't look like, what I need to be and what that needs to be. And I feel like all of this stuff is creating conflict in this person's world, because this and that could be true at the same time. And that this person really has almost little to no control over external circumstances. And that this person has more power within them that they haven't utilized or seen or connected to, that they're being divinely guided to see as an experience with you and this whole thing. And that this person has to stop sort of judging or comparing or understanding themselves as like separate. Okay, like separate meaning this is my story and my identity and for me, and then there's the outside world and it's kind of separate from me, and so it's driving a lot of the pain and suffering that this person's experiencing. Okay, and I feel like this person might be the type of person who might even like have tiered people, you know, based on maybe their accomplishments, or maybe based on like, I don't know, there seems to be like a tiering process happening, but it could just be the comparison of self. Again, it's like the version of them. And I feel like that's what it is, because it's like, get out of your own way. It's like, here's the ideal version of who I need to be, who I am striving to be. And it's okay to strive to be the best version of us. But it's first we need to know who we are. And then we embrace all of who we are, and then try to work with our strengths and try to understand certain parts of ourselves that might be challenging, rather than forcing things we don't like about ourselves to not be there and to be down a path that's maybe not authentically us. I feel like this person listens a lot to their emotions overall. And it's challenging because this person could put a lot of weight on relationships, what other people sort of do for me, how they make me feel. And I feel a certain way only when it's reflected back to me. And so it might be very scary for this person maybe to be out of relationship. I feel like this person could be an empath and pick up other people's energy and then run with the fact that that's their energy. And so if someone judges them or says something or doesn't do a certain thing or validate them or make them feel a certain way, it's like this trigger reaction comes up that makes this person then compare themselves or see themselves as like a certain way that creates an outcome, or a reaction, I should say. It creates a reaction out of this person that could result in some conflict or some confrontation, or that this person's confrontational or wanting to battle or like want to challenge you or something like this. You know, it's like, oh, my emotions are threatened. And this could come in different forms, because this could come as, when my emotions are threatened or are not seen, I protect myself, and I might become very like guarded, you know, or I might just start to say things that are like hurtful, or I might just like push you away because you've hurt me, or I can't trust you. Or this might look like many different ways, however this person, their go-to, okay? Because I do feel there's a go-to way of protecting this person falls back on, rather than them sort of observing themselves and saying, okay, I'm coping and I'm reacting in a certain way because I'm running with the emotion that I felt, rather than examining that emotion. And that emotion, okay, is a reactionary emotion that comes up. So it's valid, but it's not a reflection of this exact situation or conversation or circumstance, because the emotion is never dictating the exact situation, but it's a trigger response here. And so this person is seeing through what is real, what is their emotion, what is the truth. Understand that they might have some wounding that happens here, like I said, in the root chakra here, of needing to feel safe. And when they feel threatened, they go into this sort of coping way. And so I feel like this person's intention here, I feel like this person wants inner peace. I feel like this person wants to be feeling safe and secure in a way here that might be unrealistic. You know, like that's they're not intending that it's unrealistic. They're just, their intention is that, okay, I'm going to feel safe and secure and heal all this thing and then feel okay about myself. But it's like, is it even realistic here? No. You know, and it's like this neglect of where to actually find the answer in which they seek, because the answer in which they seek, which is very cliche, is actually within themselves, the true strength and the true support and the true security and value, without comparing themselves to another version of them or to someone else or what society would expect from them, what they think that would bring them happiness, you know, because society paints, if you're not in a relationship, then you're lonely or a loner or not lovable or not desirable. And then they run with this sort of idea. Okay, something like this doesn't have to be that exact verbiage. And so I feel like there's a version of them underneath this superficiality, the superficiality of who they think they need to be or how they need to be. And I think that this person's truest intention is to find that on the outside world that's going to then make this thing go away. And so they're going to be on an endless sort of seeking out there, you know, feeling like threatened when someone doesn't make that thing feel okay and supported. It's like, whoa, then screw you, or I'm going to butt you out, or I'm going to shut down, or I'm going to cover up, or I'm going to just say things here because then you're not the one, or you don't understand me, or you're just not. It's like, no. You're divinely guided in order to see this thing, okay, person, and how you react with your emotions and what you're sort of putting on other people to deliver, because this person puts a heavy baggage on other people of what they should be delivering to this person. Now, this doesn't necessarily mean that this person thinks that everybody owes them something. That's not what I mean at all. What I mean is that this person has certain beliefs and understandings of what certain people should be able to bring to them or certain roles should do for them. So it's like, my partner should be able to do this. And if they don't do that, then there's like this understanding that they run with. And it's like, well, that's very fixed, you know? And so the universe is trying to show them, yes, you can have preference. Yes, there's desired sort of things that are like desired, but not deal breakers, and definitely not a reflection and a value of self-worth that needs to be seen through here before we can consciously decide on partner. And so I feel like this person might have an unrealistic bar for themselves. And you, if I'm reading this right, might sense from this person that they have an unrealistic bar set for you. That's like, well, I'll never be able to achieve what you want me to do, be your fulfillment or achieve this thing for you or make you happy beyond belief or support your endless dream or your vision here. Because this person, like I said, might have big ambitions, might be very driven here. This person might be very beautiful, very attractive here with Venus coming through twice. This person could have a lot of people that are attracted with this person. And so they might feel like, okay, since lots of people are sort of attracted to me, or like I have this sort of persona, and this could be just in the material success or in the physical appearance realm. It's like it creates this sort of world around this person of how they see engagement in a relationship and partner. Because like I said, if this isn't about love and relationship, it could mean someone who is successful and then they have this understanding of what a business partnership looks like or a business enterprise looks like or running a business. And it's like because they've come from money or because they come from some angle that they experience where it's like maybe they, I don't know. It's something here. I do feel like this person is toughs it out, But I feel like there is a story or an understanding that they believe to be true that has to be examined closer, that needs to broaden so that they're able to be happier and workable. And I do feel like I mentioned this person is working on that internal connection with the divine and self, and unifying that we all are all one through the divine, that there is no you and I, that there is no comparison and separation, there is no judgment, and there is no other version that I need to be in order to be okay. And so I feel like this person, yeah, there's a lot about appearance when it comes to what I need to say and do. And it's not driven from like trying to like create a facade in any way. Like, I don't see that this person's intention is, I'm just going to trick you. I feel like this person is really saying what they feel is truthful, but it's coming from a place of this root chakra block. That's really like, if you're not going to make me feel secure and safe and stable and grounded and this, then it's like, it's going to depend on how I say and engage with you, you know? And the universe is saying, in order to reach humanity, in order to really connect to the divine, in order to really not see one as separate, we need to overcome this sort of way of seeing it. Now, we don't throw our brains out the window and lose discernment. But I think that this person is so maybe very black and white in how they see it. And it is very like set in stone and secure, where it's like you need to see through it. Because you need to see that some of this is triggered by the root chakra block and the decisions you're making. And the running with the emotions and the reactionary things that we're saying is due to the root chakra blocks here. And is that really in line with what we really, really want, or what our purpose is? Because spirit is trying to align this person with their greatest potential and outcome. But if they're very narrow and blocking certain people and situations out because it's not feeding my root block chakra, my root chakra block, then it's like, it's out of the question, it's out of the question, it's out of the question. And then we're so narrow in our experience here. Okay, and so I do feel like this person is learning to expand their social network, feel safe with people, because I do feel like this person might be very selective with who they engage with, how they engage, like over, this trauma. So it's very select. But I do feel like this person could be someone who is social. This could even be somebody who might even have the public eye. Okay, but this doesn't necessarily mean that everyone's sort of seen this person underneath it, because I do feel like this person might really cover up this truest version of themselves. And so they could have like a lot of friends, or they could just be known or seen in the community or in a certain way. And it's like, okay, like I want to be seen as successful, but they are being guided to integrate this part of themselves and to really understand the emotional part of themselves in a way here that isn't driving their thoughts and their actions, their words, and what they do in response to it, because it's not necessarily true, and they're having to see through that. Okay, so, I don't see bad intention, but I do see like an internal battle, like I said. So what are we missing here, Spirit, for pile number 2? Pile number 2 and their person's intentions here. What does pile 2 need to know about the person they came here about and their intention towards pile 2 and this connection? It almost feels like it's a very personal battle. Okay, like a personal battle, a personal thing of overcoming. 5 of Wands, yeah, like internal conflict. Like I don't feel like they're in conflict with you, but it might result in arguments with you. It might result in them being on another page than you. It might result in this person being combative or having like not agreeing with you, or being like feeling defensive, or like about what they want and fighting for what they think. Well, this is what matters and this is what's important, and like very fiery about this hill that they're going to die on. And it's like, no need to die on the hill. Time to examine our own thoughts, time to examine our own emotions. Is this stemmed from truth, or is this stemmed from a reactionary thing that we believe and we're running with it? I feel this person could be very stubborn, And I do feel like maybe this person does have a lot of people around them. It might seem like it, like you'd have to like win this person over, or like it'd just be tiring. This person seems exhausting, and I do feel they're exhausted. It is exhausting. They could have a lot of drama, a lot of emotional outbursts. It's like, it's heavy, and it's like sometimes better just to like not deal with this person, because it's like, how can you deal with their ghosts? How can you deal with a version of you that they need you to be that's not real, or a version of them that they're striving to be, or these ghosts again? There's something about an untruth that's happening here that needs to be seen through. Page of Pentacles in reverse. So it's like the truest opportunity here that can be explored. That's this optimism, the Sagittarius energy of like moving towards opportunity and potential, would have to incorporate a different way, a different perspective of how we see things. Otherwise, we're sort of blocked here. Blocked by our own self, like getting in our own way. Our own thoughts keep us blocked, our own like conflicting things. So let's see, Spirit, clear and concise message for pile number 2 and the person that came here about and their intentions. Pile 2's person's intentions. What does pile 2 need to know? King of Pentacles, Virgo, Taurus, Capricorn energy. So that king is a confident king who can build an empire, who could be reliable, solid, grounded, consistent, committed, materially secure. And we have the Tower. Yeah, so there's a falling, a part of our beliefs and our conflicting drivers here that is getting challenged. It's built on sandcastles here. It cannot stand, and it's getting in the way of building something. And like I said, I think this person, like Spirit knows, okay, where they're being guided here with this Chariot and this angel, where I'm channeling this from, is this person is being guided to build something. Okay, something long-term, something secure that can only be followed through a change of perspective that puts this person in a position where they might have to question and challenge themselves in old paradigms and beliefs. Like really look at their own emotions, look at what they say to themselves, look at what they see as challenging. Is it really challenging? Have we built homes on sandcastles, or have we built sandcastles in the sand? Some opportunity is blocked here for this person to experience some build until they deal with this thing. That's where they're being guided. 4 of Pentacles in reverse. So I need to deal with it, let go of the comfort zone and the beliefs that we hold on to. That makes us feel like, okay, this is where security lives. It's like, yeah, but that's at an expense. Is that actually security, or is that scarcity? Is that a fear? So in order to gain the new opportunity, this person will have to put themselves in discomfort. And I feel like this person doesn't like most people don't like to be in discomfort, because 4 plus the 1 pentacle this page has is 5 pentacle. In order to get out of 4, the comfort zone, what we know, what's familiar, what feels secure, we could be in 4 forever. And the shadow is like, no, we need to entertain the 5 pentacle. No one likes 5 pentacle, but the 5 pentacle is sort of the Tower energy. It's like, we must dissolve, we must get uncomfortable, we must go through the challenge of breaking through this so we could rebuild and go through change. And I feel like this person is like, whoa, change will mean that I'll be without. Change will mean that I'm not secure. Change will mean that I don't get to the commitment right away. It's like, well, sometimes we got to go through the loss before we could gain to the positive here. We don't know where Spirit's guiding. And I think this person's like, no, unless it's winning, unless it's security, unless it's safe, unless it's this, then it's like, out. It's like, no, sometimes the path is a roundabout way. The Moon, fear. To this person, I feel there's a need for control of how to get there, how to get to the security, how to get the thing that I want. And so if I have my eye on the outcome and the vision of what it needs to be, it needs to look like this. This is what winning looks like. This is what success and security looks like. And if it's anything other than that, it's unknown, and I don't trust it, and I fear it, and then I just shoot it down, or I don't explore it. And then Spirit's saying, well, your opportunity is actually at the end of this thing. If you work through your fears, work through these conflicting sort of thoughts and these challenging thoughts that are getting in your way, and they need to be challenged so you can deconstruct this and let go of these scarcity thoughts. That's what Spirit is talking about here, okay? But I think this person wants to build something solid, and there's just too much fear in how to get there. and what it looks like when it's not in line with their ideal. You know, it's like, oh, it's not ideal, therefore it's not working. It's like, no. Knight of Pentacles in reverse. That's like this Page Pentacles in reverse. And then the Devil. Exactly. Capricorn energy coming through here strong. That's at the bottom of this deck. And then the Ace of Cups. And under that, we have the Eight of Swords in reverse. So this person, their intention. I think this person has a world inside of themselves where their intention looks a certain way. And if anything deviates from that, uh-oh, I'm going to challenge it. I feel threatened. It doesn't feel familiar. It doesn't feel secure. It doesn't feel safe. It doesn't feel like it's going to get me where I want to go. So I'm going to fight it or whatever. It's like, no, let's chill pill so that we can understand and work through some of these triggers, some of these subconscious things that pull through that I think are generating this person's fears. And so this person on a conscious level might see it as I am strong, I am secure, I know what I want, I know what I don't want, I know, this is good and this is bad. It's like, no, black and white, good, bad, what I want, what I don't want. It's like, no, you don't. Spirit knows what is your purpose here. Spirit knows what's going to manifest as your legacy, as commitment, as something successful. And Spirit says, in order to have success and build an empire, we must deconstruct. The foundation here must be solid and secure, not on sand, not on rubble. And this must fall, which means getting uncomfortable, getting okay with the Five Pentacle, trusting the divine, even if it means trusting our intuition, not knowing where it's leading us to. This person might feel very, very attached and very, have unhealthy ways of coping here with this Devil. And it's like, my security feels stuck or it's not moving. And it's like, like really be like attached to seeing the material, seeing the physical, seeing it. And it's like the way they cope is like unhealthy. This is getting a lot of this root chakra energy that I was saying with the red. It's like gives them anxiety. It gives them fear. It makes them act in certain ways. And Spirit is saying that sometimes we can't see. And that doesn't mean that it's leading us somewhere fearful. And that to stick to the thing that feels comfortable can keep us feeling very safe and still without and still very challenged. And it necessarily not be the build that's going to stand the test of time. And this person is on the journey to recognize this, because I do feel this person is being in line with a new beginning to release mindsets, stories, and see through illusions that were keeping them sort of small, keeping them stuck and chained to just how they would engage here. So let's do one more round here so we could close this out for pile number 2, Spirit. Pile number 2, clear and concise message for the greatest and highest good of pile 2 and the person they came here about and this person's intentions. Can we answer pile 2's question in regards to this person's intentions for pile 2 specifically? What are their intentions? Clear and concise message for the greatest and highest good. Can we close this out? Anything I've missed? Any questions pile 2 still has about this person's intentions? 4 of Wands in reverse. Interesting. So 4 of Wands is my 1111 card. It could signify twin flames if you're on this type of a connection. Okay. Now, but the 4 of Wands talks about commitment, coming together, celebration, a rite of passage. It's like a balanced union. Okay, this could be balance of self, balance of masculine, feminine, feeling grounded and safe. And I feel this person's biggest thing is I want commitment. I want to feel grounded and safe. I want security. I want community. I want, but it's like, okay, let Spirit sort of guide this thing. And their understanding of what community, safety, commitment looks like is very fixed. And Spirit saying, let's break your illusion here. We must let the tower fall. We can't have a secure community when we're attached to the unstable way of getting there. Because this person, their understanding is actually tower. It's built on something that's not stable, not secure, not long lasting. It's wobbly. And so this could mean if I outsource my happiness, my security, and my happiness, my community, and I outsource it has to look this way, and these people must fit or do this type of thing in order for me then to feel secure. We're always at the mercy of things falling apart and being unhappy. And Spirit is saying, like, once we're solid and we allow the tower to fall, it's like any community we build is built around us. It's like for us, you know? And so I think this is what this person is working through. Queen of Wands in reverse, Aries, Leo, Sagittarius energy. The Two of Pentacles in reverse. Can we close out this reading for pile number 2 and the person they came here about and their intentions? Why is the Tower in reverse here, Spirit? So you have the Six of Cups and the Lovers in reverse. Interesting. So these two cards came out for pile 1, the Four of Wands and the Lovers. So we could be talking about a destined connection here, like a twin flame, a high-level soulmate here with 6 cups, lovers, and the 4 of wands. Okay, why is this Queen of Wands here? And we have the 6 of Pentacles in reverse. We have the 9 of Cups in reverse. That came out for pile number 1 as well. 7 Pentacles in reverse. And bottom of the deck, we have the Empress. That came out for pile 1 as well. And the 9 of Wands in reverse. I don't read bottom of the deck reverse. Let me sit here with this energy and get into what this is about. Okay, this is such an easy message here, okay? And I do feel it is your energy. But anyway, we have Taurus, Libra, Aries, Leo, Sagittarius, Gemini energy in this pile. One message that's very strong here. This person is learning their truest power comes from within. Abundance and happiness must come from balancing ourselves in a way here that sees our value, where we don't give away our power and we don't give away what it is that's sacred, and makes us sort of be in a position here to feel abundant, whether people are around us or not around us. It's innately built from the inside out. This is divine feminine energy, which, like I was saying, does feel like your energy. It's coming into the greatest divine feminine, which this divine feminine rules over all of the queens because she has every single queen attribute within her. And so she is not just a queen. She encompasses all aspects. She masters her emotions. She's able to have the intellect and the wisdom of the Queen of Swords and lay boundaries and speak her truth authentically and have the fiery passion and desire to attract towards her, like the Queen of Wands, her desires, and feel in control and in charge when she needs to be to achieve certain things and not feel like she's at the mercy of other, or compared to another she's behind or less valuable or this sort of a thing. And she's able to manage herself in a way that could take care of herself without giving away her power that someone else needs to clothe her, feed her, put a roof over her head, like the Queen of Pentacles, very grounded and very much in a can-do energy. This is the Empress, okay, learning about self-love, boundaries, and abundance. She knows her self-worth because she's built her garden with her hands over time, and so she knows of everything going on around her here. And she's confident in her ability to speak to all of this stuff and sit in that energy. She doesn't give it away easily. Okay, but she's also not so guarded here that she doesn't allow anyone to come explore in her garden. This is all about balance that she's learning, that she still hasn't learned, and surrender. Okay, because I do feel like this energy that I'm reading could become very defensive, like I said. Very defensive, very ungrounded, all of a sudden confrontational, all of a sudden highly emotional, all of a sudden unstable, all of a sudden unregulated. Okay, there's a need for great balance here because the balance is going to allow her to make discerning decisions that are in line with truth. I feel like she has a challenge within herself of being seen in a way that she could see herself as valuable, beautiful, appreciated, and valued. But her value must come from herself, not from other. And right now I feel like she doesn't really connect to that part of her value. And so it's driving all her decisions and how she gives and invests. And so she might overgive or overinvest or overdo certain things that make her think, then I'll feel better, then I'll be seen, then I'll be appreciated, and all of that stuff. And it's not necessarily true. So this is talking about a high-level soul connection. Okay, she is most likely being guided here to remember who she is, to come back to her innocence in order to walk the path, not of fear, but the path of love and true love, is going to show her her beauty and the truth. But fear will show her all the stuff that she has been experiencing, or she might feel like she has to get defensive, or she has to be a certain way, or has to be tough, or has to have certain expectations, or she will be let down, or something like this. Okay, I feel like she is learning about emotional regulation, making herself emotionally happy without relying on others. And it's not as a result of how much she could give or show or be there in an energy for other. Okay, that's not dictating her value. It's how much she's able to work with her own energy, surrender to the divine, and see herself from this perspective that sees her beauty regardless of what's going on around her. This will come in time, but this is her truest lesson here. There's a soul contract of sorts here that's lining her up with her purpose of having to see this about herself. Okay, and so you might be the person here who is reflecting this back to this person in order to balance this and work through this, because she's stuck here or challenged here with going down the path that she's being called to go down, because she's not letting the tower fall. She's not surrendering. She's not accepting some form of greater truth. It's like, no, this is my great value. And I truly believe it innately. I'm not just giving lip service. I'm not just following it and saying, well, that looks more promising to me because it's going to support me in this way. And so let me just go there, without cultivating it from the inside and feeling it alone, because it must be cultivated and felt alone. This is true, like surrender. And then everything else sort of comes towards her. So I feel like she has wounding here that's experienced from past situations. You know, it's like past situations make me feel a certain way, and it's driving all my emotions and my actions. And so I do feel like she could be very loving, and she could be very kind and very innocent and very giving and this sort of thing. But once the empathy is so intense here that she overgives to prove her value, then she starts to tip the scales in the other way, and then could become very resentful or very angry, or be like, well, I don't want to invest anymore. I don't want to give anymore to this dead end situation. I don't want to, you know, like do this because I'm not getting emotionally fulfilled here. And so she'll go continue dating or looking for this thing where it's like, no, Spirit is saying it is time to invest in self and feel happy with self. And this is why she's sort of experiencing disappointment and things not manifesting and an imbalance here. Okay, so beautiful angel, like I said, I do feel this is your energy, but it could be someone you're dealing with. So let me know in the comments if this resonated for you. And if you're drawn to another pile, I will see you there. All right, bye-bye. Pile number 3, you guys picked this card right over here. And we're looking at the person you came here about, and how is this person portraying themselves compared to what their actual intentions are. So like I said, I'm not diving into the subconscious drivers here, because we're all driven by subconscious things we're not even aware of, okay, which is very deep. This is more like, what are they aware of why they're doing what they're doing or saying what they're saying, whether they're truthful to you or putting on one sort of face and understand something else. You know, what do they want? What is their intention with you? Okay, so this could come flipped, meaning I might read it reverse. This is your intention. Okay, if that's the case, you could go check out another pile. Okay, but I did ask Spirit for the person you came here about. And so best way to do this is to sit through this card layout, see if this resonates for you. I did ask Spirit to give us indicators of who this person is or how they're showing up from your perspective, so that you know that this is the person you came here about. If it doesn't resonate, go check out another pile. Like I said, I'm not tapped into every single connection on Earth. So this is going to resonate for whoever it is that's supposed to hear this message. Okay, so let's take a look. We have the Moon and Pluto, number 19. So we have Cancer, Scorpio, Leo energy pulling through with this Moon and Pluto. Yeah, like I'm feeling like this connection is really stretching this person outside of their comfort zone is sort of what I feel here, okay? And this doesn't have to be a romantic love connection, but it is calling this person to step outside or reach outside themselves in some way, or deal with some heavy shadow or some emotions here. See something about themselves, potentially even, okay? Crow, trust in your transformation. Trust in transformation, sorry. So it's Moon energy. Moon energy. Moons talks about our intuition, our emotions, the feminine side. Okay, the subconscious, the fears, the unknown, uncertainty. It could be confusion. The crow could talk about communication, and they're messengers between worlds. Okay, birds can talk about siblings, communication. I'm getting Scorpio energy from that. And we have their goodness, number 13, more Scorpio energy here. Transformation, 13. Okay, 13 in the tarot is the death card, which is all about release, transformation. So their goodness, this is the blind spot oracle. So something about their goodness might be overlooked. We have the sun, which is about seeing something clearly, but then we have it overcasted here by the moon and Pluto, which is shadow. So we have this oracle card right here from the Personita deck. Okay, I'll be reading it intuitively. All right, so let's put that right there. And we have sugar 31 or the number 4. So we have some Aries and more Scorpio energy coming through. This person might have a very difficult time sleeping. This person might have ADHD. So Virgin's Milk, number 40. So 44. 44 is a master number. Integrity is a foundation. Treating the earth as home and a temple. Manifestation and leadership. Virgin's Milk. That's like the impossible here in some way, or some sort of unrealistic thing here. So we have Fortune, Sun, and Leo, number 5. All right. And then we have Submission, 17 and 8. Powerlessness, enslavement, fragility, weakness, subjugation, dependency. Type 8, the challenger, instinctive center between strength and weakness. Basic fear, ego level. So we have more Leo. The Sun. Sun is masculine. This powerlessness, enslavement, dependency is giving me this sugar. I feel it could be somebody who has addictions here or feels under some sort of control of something else. Impulses, vices. Okay, drank the Kool-Aid. Bought into an idea or story completely without questioning its authenticity. That's this. Rode the hype train. Joined the cult. Number 100. Interesting. And then we have Delulu. Wow. All these, okay? Number 165. Delusional, holds unrealistic beliefs or fantasies. Crazy thinking, but is it? Crazy thinking, but is it? Okay. This person might like Slurpees, might like fountain drinks. It might have like monster drinks. Soda. They might drink a lot of soda here, I'm seeing as well. Okay, turtle. So we have some, well, I'm feeling water and earth both from this. Okay, so more Scorpio, Cancer, Pisces, and Virgo, Taurus, Capricorn with the turtle. So turtles are protection and longevity. And we have advocate. Light attribute inspires you to put compassion into action. Shadow attribute, embracing negative causes or committing to causes for personal gain. All right, so let me channel this energy. You guys can skip ahead and see what this is about. Negative causes or committing. Okay, so I do need to read the tarot for this to become clearer for me, but there's certain things that are very clear here, which I'll channel. Okay, now how will you know this person? I did pick up quite a bit of channeling through the card layout of who this person could be, and I'll repeat some of this, okay? Just for those of you guys who skipped through it. So this person could be somebody who has a soda addiction, okay? It's coming through as a person. It doesn't have to be, but they could definitely have like a soda addiction or a sweet tooth here, okay? It could be a sign that it's this person. Monster drinks or that type of a thing. This person could also have a very difficult time sleeping. Okay, challenged by sleep, or that, this person is restless or just a hard time relaxing. They might be very hyped. This person might have ADHD, okay, or just like very hyper in some way, or hard for this person to relax. I do feel like this person might be battling some form of an addiction or something here. Okay, that seems to be sort of controlling this person in some capacity. Okay, and I feel like this person could be distracted at this point in their world. Okay, so let me channel what it is that this person's sort of showing up as and what their intention is. I feel like this person has a part of themselves that they're not connecting to, accepting, or seeing. So this would make it very challenging for this person to engage in an authentic way, because as long as they cannot be honest or see or accept or confront or deal with that part of self, it becomes a shut out part of themselves that's sort of ousted and not present, and cannot be explored or entertained. And that's a true part of themselves that's suppressed or not let out. And so you may take it as this person is hard to relate with, because maybe that part in which they're shutting out or not acknowledging could be the grounded part, or the part that makes you feel like, okay, this person understands, or like, when you communicate with someone or relate with someone, they repeat back to you. It's like, okay, this person has a thorough understanding of what I'm saying or what I'm about or what I'm meaning, even if they don't agree. It's like there's a common understanding and a flow back and forth. I feel like this person has a part of them that's disconnected. And therefore, in this dynamic between you and this person specifically, that part is missing. And so it's like, do they comprehend? Is this clear? Is this person even, like getting it? Are they like on purpose sort of not acknowledging? Or are they dense? Or are they just not intellectual? Or are they just being guarded? Or are they like, whatever? We can have a bunch of questions as to the reasons why, and the real sort of thing that's coming through here is that this person is disconnected here from this as a coping mechanism for at whatever point this sort of broke off. And we fragment these energies when we experience trauma or when we experience situations in which we have to disengage from that, and we put it away in the cellar of our energy body, and it becomes fragmented energy. And so it starts to create havoc. Now, I'm not reading subconscious energies, like I said. So there's a lot of driver here beneath the surface that we're not seeing, okay? But what I am going to read here is like this person's sort of conscious awareness of like what they're doing here. And I feel like this person has something that they're latching to that's giving them a sense of purpose. And it's really a cover up here, rather than like facing and dealing with all of themselves and putting themselves sort of whole. And so I feel like there's a mixture here of a vice, distraction, and immediate gratification, and doing what I can to sort of not have to deal with that hole or that thing that's making me fragmented, and covering it up like a purpose and like a reason why I'm doing it, or justify myself in doing it in some way. And then trying to sell on the idea why this is my path, or why this will work for me, or why this is a good thing, And it's like, maybe you're like, no, this person can't convince me that doing what they do day in, day out is successful for them, or is going to amount to something such as happiness. And they're in this like fantasy story of a belief version of what is going to work for them, but that it's like some form of a cover up, or some form of a way of coping, or some form of a way of not dealing with truth here. And so this person could have been stuck in this pattern for some time. This person could seem very much like not letting you in to talk about this thing, but it's like they haven't sat to talk to themselves about this thing. So there's not much they could share with you or talk to you about it. And so it could seem that this person could be guarded. This person also seems very ungrounded, very ungrounded here. And I do feel like this person keeps very busy. So it's like when I said that they have a hard time sleeping, it's like they might overwork, or they might just be constantly doing something and then dressing up like, this is my value, this is my purpose, this is why I must do these things. And it's like giving me this purpose. It's making me feel like this is why I'm here, and it's like, well, no, there's something greater, there's something deeper, and there's something more in line with this person's truth rather than the empty action in which they're doing. Because I feel like this person is doing empty action and dressing it up, like I said. And so I do feel like this person has deep feelings and emotions that are needing to be explored, but I feel like there's a lot in the shadow here that is unknown by this person, because they might have experienced some form of disappointment, trauma, or emotional upset that has never been healed or looked at or explored in depth. And so it's really uncomfortable. And I think that this connection stretches this person in a way here that makes them have to sort of push themselves out of this coping way in order to be honest with themselves, because there's something under the surface that is wanting to be seen and acknowledged, which is very positive. It's not all shadow, it's not all darkness, it's not all pain, it's not all suffering. There is this truth and this happiness and this core purpose that this person has. And I feel like there is a purpose this person could be in line with that might be for them if they could align to it, but they're misaligned right now. And I feel like their misalignment here, like I said, is a coping way. They almost feel like dedicated to that because that's in which they know. But I don't think this person likes it. And so when we're talking about their intention, I feel like this person feels almost like it has a hold of them. Like they almost feel like they're in a habitual pattern. It's almost like I have no ability to break out of it, even if I sort of wanted to, or I'm so far behind anyway. It's kind of like the energy where we are so far behind that we sort of just give up, That's sort of an energy. But I feel like spirit is coming through with this person being in an energy here that's like moving out of this so that they could see a greater truth. And this is most likely why they're experiencing this experience with you, or this connection with you, or this point in time in this journey that's bringing this to light and highlighting what isn't working. And so it could be a period where maybe their addiction gets more intense, or their illusions or delusions get more magnified here, because they're needing to work through the greatest fears that they might have by confronting and sitting with that which is the unknown, that in which is the emotional part that just got sort of fragmented. And that puts this person sort of out of their comfort zone. I feel like this person has a lot in their world right now that needs to be released. And I think they're in a belief. Okay, this is really strong, and I can't believe this is where this channeling came through, because I think this is the thrust of this person's energy. They're in delusion about where they are right now in life, and there's a lot that they need to release. And so this could be old habits, patterns, things that used to give them comfort. And I feel like this person's exhausted, and there's a point where they're going to have to be honest with themselves that whatever they were doing to cope is no longer working, and is no longer producing that in which maybe at one point in time they said was enough, or was going to produce the thing, or could give them that fulfillment, or it covered this up proper. It's like, no. And I think they know this. And I think they just don't want to accept or say it or release it, because then it's like official. And so this person is being called to work with the divine to see greater truth, so they can work through this transformation, which would require them to release certain stories that they've used and clung to in the past. coping mechanisms and immediate ways of coping and reacting that would cover up pain. And so now old stories that they might have told themselves that in the past could have a ring of truth to them are actually no longer holding water. And it could very well be that those things are now just habitual. And it's controlling this person. And it's hard for them to admit that, hey, maybe it's just habitual. Maybe there isn't something positive here. Maybe this isn't the way that I actually am. Maybe this isn't a choice that I'm actually making. And that this habit or this vice or this way of being has a hold of me. Because when we admit that, it's like, whoa, then we feel weak. And then we feel like, oh, I gave my power away. Or I really now, it's like the first step in an addiction here is like admitting we have a problem. And who knows how long we drag this out. And I feel like this person does have a great purpose here that is being called to them to see and connect to, but only when they go through the process of healing and releasing, and they have to make space for this new thing that's going to bring them happiness in their world, which could very well be, what you have to deliver to this person, or this connection between you and this person, or an experience that they are being presented with. And you could definitely be a part of that sort of experience. I feel like this person is stuck in past heavily, the past way of coping. They might talk a lot about the past or give too much emphasis or power about the past. They might be tied to people, siblings, family members that might not necessarily be the best for them in their new world. And they might have a sense of like obligation or duty to that past, even if that past is over, even if this past is like no longer serving them. And then there's this guilt trip that could come through as well, because I do feel like this person might do things and then feel bad about it. And it's like a cycle here. And it's at the expense of what's good. So it's a form of a sabotage here. And they're aware that it's like, it doesn't feel good after I do that, or I do the same story, or I give into the same thing, or I support the same old story, or something like this. It's like I keep giving into this, or I'm not strong enough to do the thing. And so their intention, though, I feel is like an inward energy of like, I can't even make this control or this situation, even if I wanted to. And so it's like, I want to just like guard myself so I could work through this, because I feel sort of helpless or at the mercy of this thing that I'm still not admitting to myself that has control over me. And I want to believe that somehow it would get better without my acknowledgement or my admittance or my involvement in some way, which is delulu and not true. And I feel like this person might have rose-colored glasses about how they remember the past, or something about what the past does for them, which is actually very toxic for this person right now. It's not good, and it could be physically draining, and I feel it's physically taking a toll on this person. I feel this person has a lot of heaviness here, like stress, like it's impacting their sleep. It's maybe impacting how busy they are, like, again, working a lot of hours or trying to like do something here, or just physically also taxing on their body, because they might be numbing themselves through this habit or something like this. I also feel like this person might be very confused as to where they might get their strength or their nurturance from, because I do feel like this person might have an old group of people or a family or a situation that maybe at one point provided something that is no longer providing, and this person might not want to accept or admit that that source of essence or productivity is there anymore. That happiness is no longer there no more. And so this person is having to face their courage, to face their fears, to get outside of their comfort zone and push themselves outside of what they're used to and familiar to change things up here. And I feel like this person is being called to act. And this is the biggest thing. This person is avoiding acting, taking action. And then they are blaming circumstance, you know, like I'm a victim of circumstance, or I'm in a position where I can't do anything about this, or that I'm tied to this thing, or that I'm stuck here. Like I am at the mercy of this thing, and anything that I could produce or do that's calling me to action, I can't do as a result of this. But it's like, no, you're actually not stuck there. It's just your fear. And they might be fighting for the wrong camp, like I said here. So let's see, because I do feel I'm missing quite a bit. Spirit, for pile number 3, the person I came here about, what is, this person could have short hair. Okay, this person could, I don't know, I'm getting a lot here, okay, because I'm getting, it could be masculine, it could be feminine, it could have light eyes, dark eyes, I'm getting olives. That's not really going to help you, of course, because it's going to be either or, so I think there's a blend. This person's favorite color could be green. This person could look really good in green. Okay, they could have green eyes, which isn't very common. This person could have not the greatest hygiene, okay? That's coming through. I feel like you might not trust this person's decision making, you know, at all. And I don't think that they even could trust their own decision making here. And it could be that they let you down, or they've proven themselves to make a decision that might just not seem very aligned with greater truth. This person could be into yoga. This person could like to wear their hair in a bun. Clear and concise message for the greatest and highest good of pile number 3. And what is pile 3's person's intentions towards pile 3? What is their true intention here? How are they portraying themselves, and what is it that they're meaning to get out of this way of being? I'll leave that right there. Okay, so we have the 8 of Pentacles. So this is the work card. So like I said, some of these people are working, like spending their time at work here, okay, to sort of distract themselves. But this, to me, is giving this Delulu sort of energy. It's like feeding the monsters. You know, like feeding the monsters, like what they're doing day in, day out. Like they're advocating for keeping the story alive. That's creating the torture, creating the fear. Day in, day out, this person's energy is going towards keeping the monsters alive. That's really what I'm getting from this 8th Pentacle, okay? The World. So this is successful closure of a phase where we close the chapter and we're able to start a new life, a new book, a new journey, but we must close the past. So we see the Ouroboros, which is the cycle of life here. Something about the past that needs to be put down in order for the new beginning to happen. Okay, so the Page of Swords and the 7 of Swords. Yeah, need for truth and clarity, to admit the truth and see through our own lies. There's truth and clarity again. And look at this wavy sword, which is an untruth, or like a delulu, like shaping the truth how we want to see it. It's kind of dysfunctional here. Okay, 7 Swords is like deception, not being honest here. This is truth and clarity, a new beginning. 9 Pentacles. So this is the card of self-sufficiency or confidence, or ability to provide for self, make ourselves available and reliable and confident and consistent and productive on our own. And then the 2 of Cups, giving and receiving in a balanced way. We see the dove, but this bird's descending here. And then we see 6 Pentacles in reverse. And we see the 7 Cups in reverse. So 7 Cups is the card of Delulu, which we have right here. So it is in reverse. Same with the 7 Swords. So 7-7 is the master number. Trust the fall, an adventure that arises from deep wisdom, trust of life, trust of self. 7 is the number of faith, wisdom, reflection, and understanding. Okay, so Sun's also Tower energy. Let me just tap into this because there's quite a bit here. Five of Wands. Okay, so I do feel like this person is in the Lulu of sorts, okay, which is heavily stemmed from the past. This person is being called to work through this thing. I don't know how long they've been there, but I feel like that might be old energy, because I do feel like there is a current energy of coming out of this sort of energy, okay? Like they're really, really closing this out, because I feel like whatever experience you're called upon with this person is showing them, highlighting this part of self that they weren't wanting to be honest about, because it could have been very painful. It could have been something that they were needing to really break through and see, because in order for this person to be independently free, autonomous, confident, and show up for themselves, to be able to show up and invest, maybe in a romantic relationship, or just work with you, whatever means this is, to show up. There had to be an embracing of a truth that this person has had a difficult time doing. I feel this person had to go through being completely in the dark or in denial in some sort of idea to getting very concise, okay? Because I do feel like this person hasn't yet been able to invest, show up, or give of themselves, because they haven't been free to do so. They're either attached to the story or investing in something else that's like misaligned. Like I said, like their past is still misaligned. The past is still there. It's still driving their decisions. And I feel like it was getting in the way of this person being concise, pointed, getting out of the confusion. There's a lot of like a lot of things, a lot of noise around this person, which isn't necessarily clear. It's like too much fear, too much noise. It could be they're around a lot of people that are instilling fears in their mind, or experiences that are like all seem sort of the same, but like same as in like too fearful to do anything different. It's like that's scary, that's scary, that's scary. So it's like all of these choices and all of these roads are really like could lead to the same thing, which is fear and all of this stuff. So I'd better sort of stay put, or this sort of a thing, and then sit there as long as I can, or focus on work as long as I can. But it's like I'm not dealing with the issue at hand here, because there's a great truth that needs to be seen and understood and accepted, that I'm lying to myself staying where I'm at the longer I'm there. And the only way to break through this thing is to close that out and accept some form of like closure, and some form of truth, some form of honesty, some form of clarity. And that's the only way I can make myself available here, because whatever they need to make themselves available for would require them to be consistent, would require them to show up day in and day out, and for them to choose not to be combative or to be conflicted about it. I think there was a lot of fear in staying put in some delusional world. And now if they're not clear just yet, I feel this person is getting very clear. I feel this person is developing their own autonomous sort of confidence here, to be able to stand on their own so that they can make decisions in line with truth. I think this person has seen some greater truth, but I think this person might be having a hard time taking action on it or speaking it, because they might feel like they're not in a position right now, maybe financially, or have the resources to back it or to take action out of it, because they might be in a situation where they feel it's been under one assumption, one belief or something, that it had control over them, or that it was where they had to be, or I don't know, whatever Kool-Aid they bought. It was really preventing this person from choosing something else. Yeah, they're coming out of this moonlight energy, if you will, because the moon really talks about this Delulu again. It's like seeing things under one light, which isn't necessarily under the sunlight. It's not clear. It's like casting shadows and a bunch of fears and untruths. And then we don't know what's right, what's wrong. It's too scary to navigate. We stay put, or we focus on other things here. So let's see, because I still feel like we're not really sort of closing it all together or looping it all together, but I do feel there's like a shift, and this could definitely be why we were seeing a lot in the card layout with the 13 and this transformation, because that is the death card in a tarot, which is a release, the end of something, the transformation into the new. So we're seeing the world, which is the incubation period of the old into the new. And so I feel this person is leaving this Delulu state where they might have been getting some form of a fix, and they're entering this new phase. You know, there's something about accepting a truth, but maybe not yet feeling empowered to act on it, but sitting with this knowing, which is a lot, because now it's breaking through an illusion that we held of why the past was good or why we needed something that we don't necessarily need. So let's see, can we close out this reading in regards to pile three's person they came here about, their intentions towards pile three, questions pile three has about this person and this connection. Thank you, spirits. So Queen of Wands, Aries, Leo, Sagittarius energy, the Hermit, Virgo energy, and Judgment in reverse. And the Nine of Cups in reverse, that came out in all three piles today. Knight of Swords in reverse, Justice in reverse, Libra energy. The King of Swords in reverse, Gemini, Libra, Aquarius. And then the Eight of Swords. Okay, interesting. So we have, Aries, Leo, Sagittarius, Gemini, Libra, Aquarius, Libra, and Virgo energy here. So let me see. And the Emperor in reverse, Aries. Okay, beautiful people. This person is cultivating something within them that I think is taking time, and it's going through a process. First thing is seeing through an illusion. You know, it's just like the steps of rehabilitation program. You know, the first step is admitting we have a problem. And I feel like with that Seven Swords in reverse, there's an admittance and an understanding that something was a problem. They're finally seeing through something. I think this is the biggest thrust of this person's engagement with you has been their delusion or this fantasy thing or this inability to get real, you know, get grounded and be available, and like be in a Nine Pentacle energy, show up invested and grounded and available, because it's been like this airy energy, this flighty energy, this like disconnected sort of energy that we talked about at the very beginning. Okay. And I feel it stemmed from a lack of confidence in their position to actually feel empowered to do anything. This person felt disempowered to take action, to confront and deal and speak and understand what it was that they were needing to do and say in order to create a form of harmony and justice and balance. And so they don't do anything. And whatever was going through their mind was keeping them under that belief that I gotta buy what I'm telling myself that's true, and it's limiting me and keeping me in this sort of state. And I believe the lies I tell myself, the Seven Swords, but all it resulted to is keeping me feeling very stuck and incapable of aligning myself with harmony or balance or justice in a situation, which I'm sure involves you, because we're asking about this connection. And so it could be somebody, like I said, who might have disappointed you, who was unjust, who might have been experiencing sort of this imbalance when it comes to the two cups, like trusting, emotionally showing up, being the other side of this cup equation, and failing to present themselves, failing to communicate, failing to present themselves, failing to sell their idea. Like, I feel like there's a falling short here. Like, what's their plan? What's their idea? What do they stand for? What do they fight for? Like, there's a lot of question around this thing and not seeing or understanding this. So this could be somebody who is very confused. I don't know, you know? It's like, I don't know. I'm not clear. I'm uncertain. I don't know what it all means. I'm sort of in this fog and in this like energy. And I feel like there is this Judgment and justice, it's like the universe is saying call to action. There's some great karmic lessons of sorts here that is needing to be experienced and understood through a process. When we finally see the truth and we're called to action to bring justice, only when we know ourselves and we see ourselves clearly. This is what's being called for this person to heal and be guided through this process so that they can reach a state of clarity and also guide them towards their North Star. I really feel there's a purpose here. Okay, we had fortune, and I felt like this person, it's at their goodness. Whatever great purpose is in line with this person was being traded off as long as they stayed in their old world or their old paradigm. And Spirit saying, no, you will be guided out of this towards a great sort of experience. It will be aligned with your North Star and your purpose. And you can only sort of experience this when you do the hermit's journey of inward sort of seeking and understanding, when you're finally clear and you can confront and deal and understand what you stand for. When you know what you stand for, believe what you stand for, take action what you stand for, and make this sort of just through following on this thing without giving into your own fears or your own understanding of what you can and cannot do, the limitations. Why? Because I feel like whatever this person was doing, even if it was, like this sugary energy, like I said, their vices or like immediate sort of gratification and numbing themselves, it's making them very tired, and it's making them feel not as happy as maybe in the past. Like I said, maybe at one point it made them happy, or maybe they thought they knew what true emotional fulfillment was. Not no more. It's not doing it no more. And we can't sit here in a reverse 9 cups, not experiencing the depths of our emotional fulfillment for very long without saying, hey, maybe I'm not seeing or understanding something. Maybe I must seek the truth. Maybe I must sit with myself longer. Maybe I must confront the things I wasn't wanting to confront. Things seem imbalanced. Things are going not in the right direction. And I feel like this person feels like their life might have been going opposite. It's like things were unfair, or things were like going in the bad, or like I felt like I couldn't move, or I was being robbed of any way to move or any way to take action as a result of me staying put, or as a result of me giving into my victim mentality. So this person might have at one point believed there was nothing they could do, or that they were a victim of circumstance in their environment, and it was an 8 swords, and it only led to unhappiness, and it only led to pressure, and it only led to burnout, and it only led to an inability to sleep, like I said, physically gaining on this person. And so I feel like this person is learning the value of their own power to manifest their own confidence, their own ability to see value in themselves, and being able to work through some of these misconceptions that they don't have the ability to change any sort of course of action here, because that's untrue. Yes, they might not be able to control a lot of things, but they don't have to just like accept defeat in some way, because I feel like this person accepted defeat. And I feel like this person is actually fighting to get out of this. And I feel like maybe there's a purpose here, an experience here that's giving this person a purpose to fight, a purpose to see value, a purpose to like work through something here. And it could be that this person might even see you as like, you're the reason I want to have purpose, or they might see themselves as someone here. But I feel like this person might be using your energy in a way here that's reflecting to them. It's like, by seeing you in a way, it's like reflecting back to me that, wow, I have been outsourcing my power. I have been not in my greatest strength, or I have been in my shadow, or like saying I'm incapable, or I am not able to do this, that, or the other. And then watching you and maybe be in your power or bring in what you want to manifest. It's like, why can't I manifest this for myself, So there's something about this sort of a realization that's coming in. And it's a long time coming, because I feel like it's easier for us just to avoid. It's easier for us to not have to do this if we don't have to. But then the results are real here. Imbalance, unjust, unhappy, and emotional sort of situations that leave us feeling unfulfilled. Devil, breaking free of the devil. which, like I said, could be addictions, vices, bad habits, things, people, places, things of the past that keep us feeling very stuck to our environment that doesn't help us but hinders us. This person's breaking free from that. And I feel like this person might feel still challenged, like, I want my power to do this. I want to feel like 9 Pentacle. And I don't know that this person totally feels confident and a 9 Pentacle, but they feel inspired here. And I feel like this person is working through this. And I feel like this person is reflecting and healing and maybe using this connection or this guidance or your energy as a guide so that they could pull themselves out of this and see clearly what the truth is. Because the truth is that this person doesn't have to be in shadow, that this person does have the ability to be empowered, that this person's circumstances could definitely be impacted by the truth and the actions they take. And if they don't take action and they sit on it and they're like, oh, there's nothing I can do, and I'm sort of victim to this devil, then they experience what they experience, which is this. And I don't think they like this 9 Cups in reverse. And the 9 Cups in reverse, like I say, is this person then defaulting to the addiction or defaulting to the destructive thing. And it's a big cycle. We saw the world with the Ouroboros. It's like, I do the addiction, I feel bad about myself, I feel shame, I get out of it, and then I see something else that reminds me of my lack of confidence, and then I fall back and I overindulge, and I keep doing this thing over and over and over again. This is coming to an end with the World card, okay? And this person's breaking free of this devilly way and their shadowy emperor energy, regardless if they're masculine or feminine, because all they've learned is that it creates unjust, imbalanced situations that are holding them hostage. This person does not want to be hostage. They're seeing this, they're understanding this, and I feel they're healing this. So their intention is to get out of it. Okay, it is slow, but I feel like that's this person's intention, because nobody wants to be in a 9 Cups in reverse here and doing the same thing over and over and experiencing this again with the Moon in reverse coming out again. Coming out of the fear, coming out of uncertainty, coming out of that in which at one point I was telling myself one thing because I was Delulu. I was seeing reflections in one way. It's no longer true. It's no longer doing it for me. Okay. So that's their intention. Coming out of the moonlight, coming out of Delulu, not drinking the Kool-Aid of the past. Like it's creating goblins. So pile number 3, this is your reading. I hope this resonated for you guys. I love you guys very much. If you want to check out another pile, I will see you there. Bye-bye.